I mean, after that call, what did you take from it? Did you feel that there was tension? From your point, how did you interpret
Oh
the?
no, I didn't feel it was anything other than I just thought it was strange because I was like, it's a great song. Like, I don't get it. That's it. All I could take from that was that's why I asked him, like, do you want to like work on a song together or something? And he's like, you know. And then I remember a time after that when it was in between it was before Bird's Eye came out. Because it was actually I was in New York for the year that I won. And Strauss was having a pre-Grammy party at his house. And I think Kenny was there. Yeah, that was the first time I ever saw Kenny in person. And but we didn't really say much. But I think it was after that he had mentioned at that time, I think, about us working on something. And he might have an idea that he hasn't finished or whatever, but nothing came of it. And that was that. It's like there was a lot of people I didn't get to work with, and he was one of them.
Yeah,
We just
but
didn't get
but
to. Yeah.
you didn't have a conversation with LA to say, look, well, why, does
No,
Kenny like me? Or there was none of.
no, I never because I, I never got that idea. I remember Nobody Knows was out, it's doing well, the album was doing well. And I'll never forget this. I was going to the LaFace office and I was parking my car. And LA called me. He says, yo, so what's up? He says, you influenced Kenny. I said, what do you mean? He said, check out his new album, The Day. So when I go and listen to him, I'm like, what is he talking about? But what it was, he was talking about the subject matter. It was all about like, because that was an album that Kenny was talking about. He was more reflecting on his kids and stuff like that. And what he was saying that the influence was that it was a more introspective record as opposed to the stuff that Kenny was more known to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that Tender Lover album is a fucking classic,
Mm,
right? And all of those songs are love songs. And you know
mm.
how people talk about Babyface and Keith Sweat. Talk about some man, they just be begging. But on the Day album, he wasn't. He was reflecting on things and stuff like that. So I was just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But that was his opinion. Kenny didn't tell me he was influenced by that. Later. So, and this is the thing, I never understood what happened with that breakup because LA always spoke highly of Kenny, always, So I didn't from LA's end, and it didn't seem like they had a problem because I definitely didn't have a problem. We had no problem because we didn't know each other. It was just that I was on LaFace, and then you had John B was with Babyface.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was
And
amazing to me because even when the whole comparisons of my voice to Kenny's, I was just like, you know how many times I've sat and listened to Nobody Knows and played When Can I See You Again before and after? I'm like, I don't get how people are listening to Nobody Knows and thinking this is Babyface. I'm like, you know who sounded like Babyface a lot back then? To the point where when I heard Kenny and John be on a record together, I couldn't tell who was who.
yeah,
I was like, yo, but even then I knew like right after listening to the rest of John B's record, I'm like, it doesn't sound like Babyface. They sound alike on that record.
yeah.
They don't know. They don't sound nothing like Babyface.
Mm.
And I was just like, oh, I see. It's a reference point. When people hear things, they tend to have a habit of comparing it to something immediately because if they don't really have an in-depth Rolodex of Rolodex of space to say this is unique in itself, they're going to compare it to something. Tony Braxton went through that with Nita Baker, and then at some point they stopped saying it. For
Mm.
me, for some reason, people have not let go that they think that nobody knows is Babyface. It's weird. I've been on stage and told people that. Like, this is, I said, let me tell y'all something. I know what y'all, this is not it. The guy singing the song is the guy that released the song, period.
So I think if as a fan of music back then, there weren't many black producers or singers that played the guitar. So that
True.
was, you think about Clapton, so more of a pop rock. And Kenny was the one every time we see with his guitar, and most people keyboards, but he was the one with the guitar. And then that type of vibe was a lot of what he did with Eric Clapton, but he would, oh, when can I see you smile again? So that type of stripped down, type of unplugged type of energy. So generally, that's the only person that we generally would see do that. So hence, it's easy just to assume, oh, you're on LaFace and this is the type of stuff that he would do. It's it's lazy
You know,
type of assimilated, like plus one plus five is equals eight. That's it. We just put them together. It's easy and it's easy to market as well. Oh yeah, it's easy for them. As you said, the radio station promoted it, even though they didn't even fact check, because it's easy to. It's a part of marketing and stuff.
I'm gonna tell you something funny. Now I remember before Kenny did "When Can I See You Again," where that's really the first time people see him playing guitar was then in that video.
Mm,
Before then, he's always been a guitar player, but he wasn't visibly playing guitar, right?
mm,
But so when Can I See You Again came out, but here's the thing: what people forget is Deion Ferris is playing guitar, Tracy Chapman, right? Even though Tracy Chapman, different genre, but there it was, and I totally get when people are like making these summations of like, oh, it's this and it's that. It was another artist that I was about to tell you about. But once the comparisons, when people make comparisons, at some point they usually die off because it's like, okay, because now this new person that you was comparing this other person to, they got their own footing now. Now
mm.
the sound you can clearly hear that it's very different, right? And it would be like, yo, what are y'all listening to? Do you listen to the catalog of music I have? Like, go ahead and find. Let me hear how many songs you think that person did. It's really interesting. At one time I was in the mall, right? Get this. I had locks at the time, down to about right here. And I'm walking, and this guy walks up to me and says, yo, you on the low, right? I said, what do you mean? You Eric Benet, right? I said, no, man, I'm not. I just walked off. And I'm thinking to myself, like, wait a minute. Eric and I don't look nothing alike.
Apart from the locks that back in
I
that day.
had locks. Eric had locks.
Yeah.
Oh, so because we both have locks, our faces look the same now? It was weird, man. I remember at some point, I've heard people say me and Babyface look alike. I've heard people say me and Usher look alike. I'm like, okay, do you think Usher looks like Babyface? No. You think Babyface like Usher? No. Do you think Eric Benet looks like either one of them? No. So how's it that I look like all of them? It's really weird, man. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really don't know what that is.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that category.
And somewhere in between
Us, or even loving us, on which I didn't miss you with.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No. Okay.
They understand what those boys and men all
Play it.
These guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.